Hello everyone. So welcome you all to a short tutorials Meghalaya's first Mtet channel. So my dear friends, today we are going to deal with Unit 6 and the topic we have is learning resources or teaching learning materials TLMs. TLM is teaching learning materials. Teaching learning materials TLM are physical or digital tools used by teachers to facilitate learning. They help make lessons more engaging, improve understanding, and support development of different skills. These resources can range from simple objects like charts and flashcards to advanced digital tools like educational softwares and online videos. Now, my dear friends, we all make use of teaching learning materials in the classroom, right? Teaching aids. When you are doing your B.Ed, when you are doing your DLEd, we all have come across the use of teaching aids, right? Now, why teaching aids are important? Teaching aids are important so that we are able to deliver our lecture in the best way possible with the help of those teaching materials, right? Yes or no? Right? So that's why, in order to make our content more engaging, more understanding, and more knowledgeable, what do we do is that we make use of teaching aids. So when you go to class, you take chart papers, you take sticks, the of course the pointer stick, right? Then you take the slides, you take the you know uh, flashcards. So those are the things which you take to the class in order to make your class interesting one and engaging one, right? Now, what can be the different type of teaching aids which you can use in your classroom? So let us see types of learning resources. So number one is visual aids. So what do you understand by visual? Visual means something which you can see with your eyes. So visual aids include anything that can be seen and helps in the understanding of a concept. These are especially useful for visual learners. Of course, we have different type of learners. Some learn by visuals, by looking at the photos or the image, and some learn by listening to the lectures. Some learn both by listening also by watching also, right? So they are different type of learners. So those learners who are visual learners who learn by looking, so for them, if you take flashcards, if you show them videos, so they learn it in the best way, right? Now, what can be the visual aid? See, I can remember some question was asked long time back in MTET exam that what are the example of visual aids. So remember, when we talk about visual aids, it will include charts and posters. So if you take a photo of a plant or a diagram of a plant, or the you draw a picture of solar system on the plant, I mean on the paper, so those are what they those are the example of visual aids. Always remember that flashcards, so we can make use of flashcards, right? So those flashcards are also example of visual aids, so used for vocabulary or math drills where students match the term to correct image or numbers. So in mathematics also we can make use of flashcards. In fact, in any subject you can make use of flashcards. Now, printed materials. What are printed materials? Of course, the best example is your textbook, right? Which you read at home. Right now also, the one which you see on the screen, the written information is the printed information, right? Whatever you see on the screen, printed materials. So these are physical resources like books, worksheets, and handouts that provide valuable information for exercises to the students. Now you see, printed materials will include your textbook, workbook, exercise book. So all these things will come in printed materials. Printed means what? It is printed out, right? A biology textbook that provides explanation and diagrams for understanding human anatomy. So you may have biology textbook, you may have physics textbook. So all those are what? Those are printed materials. Worksheets, math practice sheets for students to solve problems based on lesson taught. Now we have worksheets for different subjects, right? So example, for mathematics, you are making use of worksheets which will help you to understand the mathematical problem. So that is also an example of printed material. Always remember these examples are important, all right? Printed means worksheet is also printed, textbook is also printed. Now we will see audio visual resources. So now right now you're listening to Sir Ashok's lecture on the screen, right? You are listening to my lecture and at the same time you're watching the video. What you are making use of. So this number 3 you are using right now. So you are using audio visual resource now when you're watching my video. These are materials that include both sound and images, making them effective for auditory and visual learners. So those learners who understand by looking, by listening, so that is called as audio visual resources. So YouTube, when you watch videos on YouTube, that is what? That is audio visual, right? When you are watching movie, when you are watching series, when you watch the songs, so you are making use of your audio visual resources, right? So here, number 1 example, video. A video showing how a plant grows from a seed to a fully grown plant, demonstrating the process of photosynthesis. So this is an example of a audio visual resource. Then audio recordings, listening exercises and language classes where students listen to pronunciation and conversation. So the students, they will listen to the podcast, the students can listen to the pronunciation. So these are audio recordings or audio resources. Now let us see digital resources. With technology, digital resources have become a significant part of teaching, providing interactive learning experiences. So now technology. The technology is advancing every day. So we have got different apps, different softwares, which is helping us in the process of teaching and learning. Example can be educational apps like Duolingo, for example, for learning languages, or Khan Academy for understanding math concepts. So we have different type of YouTube channels. Ashok tutorial is also one of the YouTube channel, right, which you have seen online, which is a digital resource, right? So you also have got different type of apps like Duolingo is an app which you can download in order to learn a language, and Khan's Academy also you can download in order to clear your concept on maths, right? So maybe in future you might get Ashok tutorials app, or you might get Ashok tutorials textbook. So in future we will see that. All right. Interactive whiteboards, digital boards where teachers can write, draw, or display multimedia content that can be interacted with during lessons. Now you see these days whiteboard is available. We often call it as smart board, right? Smart board means what? On that board you can doodle, or you can write with a joystick or with a pen, right? Digital pen is given, you can write with that. So, or you can also make use of projectors in order to explain your content, right? So these are digital resources. Remember the examples. All right. Now manipulatives, these are physical objects that students can handle and move to learn concepts, especially in subjects like maths and science. Now you see manipulative means these are the materials or the objects which the students can literally touch, they can feel, they can move. For example, building blocks used to teach concepts like counting, addition, or fractions. So now mathematics we learn with the help of building blocks. Now what are building blocks? If you don't understand, then you just type in the Google building blocks for mathematics, and there it will come what is building block. All right. So building block can be used for counting the numbers, for adding the numbers, for use for solving problems related to fractions. Now science kit, a kit for building simple machines or conducting experiments to understand physical concepts. Of course, we get science kit where you can make use of simple machines to make something which is which will help you in your learning, and which is a physical in order to understand that physical concept. Real life materials, real world items used to connect students with practical experiences and to make abstract concepts easier to understand. Maps and globes. So now you see we have maps, we have globes. Why? So that the students are able to connect their practical knowledge, their practical experiences with the abstract concept. Now you see maps. You have always seen maps and globes, right, used in geography to help students understand countries, continents, and weather patterns. Now you see, literally nobody can go to, Australia or America or China and study all these things, right? It is, that's why, given in the form of maps, or it is given in the form of globe. So these are real life materials which help you to, interact or connect or get an experience which is so real that, it feels like you have been there, or you already know that particular, weather, or you already know that particular continent or countries. Objects for measurement: rulers, measuring cups, and thermometers to teach students about units of measurement. Now you see, real life materials can also be like measuring cups. We use scales, we use rulers, compass, thermometers in order to teach science and mathematics, right? So these are also the real life materials which we can make use of in order to deliver our content more effectively. Benefits of using teaching learning materials. Now, why do we use teaching learning materials? Engagements. Of course, you know that when you are using slides, videos, charts, flashcards, then your lesson is going to be very, very interesting. All the learners will listen to you, they will take part in the activities, they will touch and feel the materials you are showing them, right? Better understanding. So, if you take the teaching learning material to the class itself becomes very, very interesting, because they touch the material, they move the material, they feel the material, and they can actually see the material with their own eyes, right? Catering to different learning styles. So in a classroom you have different type of learners, right? Some learn better by listening, some by watching, some by touching. So different type of students are there. So accordingly you can, make use of the teaching learning materials. Now, enhancing retention. Students tend to remember concepts better when they are actively involved in the learning process. In different ways. See, I've been telling this on and on, that whatever the teaching process you follow, always try to include the learner in your process of teaching and learning, because they are the active learners. They should be the learners who are active, right? Who are engaged, who, you are giving the chance so that they are able to, get hold of or understand what you actually are trying to say. All right. In conclusion, we have teaching learning material play a vital role in improving the learning process by making lessons more interactive, understandable, and enjoyable. By using a combination of visual aids, printed aids, digital resources, and hands on tools, teachers can help cater to different learning needs and make education more effective and engaging for all students. Now, you see, when you are making use of teaching learning materials, now you see, many teachers, they just go to the classroom even without taking a textbook. That is very, very sad and very, very bad at the same time, right? As teachers, textbook is compulsory. At the same time, you please try to carry chart paper, try to carry flashcards, try to carry pen drive, so that you can display the video or the content or the slides on the, smart board. So make use of this technology, it is available. You know make them useful for the learners, so that they can make use of what they have been, entitled or given, right? So my dear teachers, please always try to take some extra pain, extra effort, and deliver your learning or deliver your lectures in the way which will help the children to remember how you taught them, what object or what material you actually used in order to teach that particular topic to the learner, right? So try to be an extraordinary teacher, an excellent teacher, and a teacher who will be respected for not only the knowledge he has, but how he handles the personality that he has, the discipline he has, the, humbleness he has. So he should be respected for all these, and in order to do all this, you should become one, right? So I think this is all of this video. So thank you everyone for staying connected with the show tutorials Meghalaya first Mtet channel. Thank you.